In session 2B, we learned how to use update and delete functions. So now we have add, update, delete and list. And one thing we noticed was as we added add page, update page, we were always typing URL in the browser. Add profile. Profile update form. Which is very inconvenient. A good app is one which allows the user to navigate very conveniently. So we don't have to type in URLs for every functionality we need. So one good way to achieve is make all these links very conveniently available to a user on your app. Right? So we use templates for that. And what templates allows us to do? Templates is something which we can use repetitively in different scenarios. So in this case, let's say now what is our scenario? One scenario is we have to type in URLs again and again. Second thing is, as you see, if you go to websites, we have some information on top, right? We have something on bottom, we have something on left side, we have something on the right side. And then over here, here you will see, let's say, header images, right? There will be logo, and there will be, links for doing something. There will be like things like categories. Here you will have information like, about us, about company, and here you might have products, right? So if you see, this information rarely changes as you go from page to page or functionality to functionality. Only this is the information which is changing. So that's the advantage. You can, using templates, you can keep these things as non-changeable things which don't change as you navigate. Other thing is, if you want to, let's say, change your logo, with a template, you can change in single place and the change will be reflected on all the pages. So, convenient ways, there are different ways you can define templates. So one important thing in a template is called layout, right? It's called layout. And layout is, how is your page laid out? So in this case, we have like a header, we have side nav, we have a footer, and then we have the main content window. So you can define a layout with this format and then apply it on the pages. So one way to do is, in our case, we are going to use a layout which is going to be very simple. And our layout is going to look like, I'll just clear the box and so we can start from. We'll add a header. We'll add a footer. We call this header. We call this content. And we call this footer. What do we want in footer? We want the links. So one thing in the footer in the header, we would have is, let's say, a home page. So we can always go back to the starting page. We would have a link to add profile. I'll just clear this so that we know what content we are talking about, right? So I'll call this home, call it add profile. Let's extend this thing so that we have more space. And then we will have list profiles. And in the footer, what can we have? We can just have a simplistic thing called copyright. right? C, copyright, F3 learning. And content is where you want to show what is in the profile, add profile form, show profile, profile update, or even the list. So the thing will keep, you will keep changing this portion and these things will not change. So let's look at it. How are we going to implement? This is the screen we completed in session 2B. Now we are going to add a layout. So first thing you will do is create a new HTML file. We'll call it layout.html. And in this title, we'll call it my Flask app. Now, as we talked about the layout, first thing we'll do is create a div id header. So header will contain all the details of header. It's a good idea to indent it, makes it more readable. The next div would be, we will call it content. And as you see, conveniently PyCharm does add the closing tags, which is nice. And lastly, we'll add footer. Okay. So in the header, we will add, let's say, a link to the home page. And home page is generally, you will just go to slash, I will call it home. Let's add another link. This would be to add profile form. Let's call it profile. Let's add another one. It's convenient URL in case we want to see the list of profiles. If you go to home page, you most likely will see the same, but if you want to explicitly call it out, it's a good idea to add another listing all profiles. So this becomes our header, and let's add a line break. So HR will add a convenient line break. Now you can, we'll add one before footer. You can have other styles also. We are just going with the simplistic tags. And one thing we would do in the content is we'll add some tag. And percent. And in the footer, we are going to, we'll just add a copyright. We'll call it F3 loading. So whatever we are reading, building, these are copyright of F3 learning. So it's good idea for your product. You may want to add some copyright. So in case someone does whatever you are doing, you have some rights to claim that they copied your stuff. Now this is the layout we created, and now the next step would be to change all the pages. So let's see how the layout will look like. So if we just open the layout in a browser, that's how it looks like. We'll see there are convenient URLs on the top. Here it's showing it because we just opened a pure HTML. It's not a Flask app. And at the bottom we see the copyright content. Now let's make, what we're gonna do is for the profile, we'll start making changes to the HTML pages so that it starts using layout. So let's go to profile list as the first page. And in this, what we are going to do is we are going to strip off some of the things and we want to just keep the content. So basically what it's doing is it's helping us avoid the duplicates. So the way to it, we'll use the Flask template language HTML. So what it's going to do is it will basically take the content from layout.html and profile list will use that content. And the next thing we are going to do is add a block body. So this is the content basically which will be replaced. I'll show you once. Let me finish it first. Right. So as we saw in layout.html, we have block body and end block. Right. Similarly, we created a block body and end block. Right. So anything in between these tags, right, there that will be replaced in the layout basically. Right. So that's how we are doing. So let's go to my profile. We'll do the same thing. I'll copy it to make it faster. Right. I'll just call this block body, and then I'm going to do an end block. We don't need to repeat body, HTML tags, and all those things again and again. That's the beauty of templates. We'll copy and block. And now on to the last file, which is the update form. And as you see, we are removing all HTML head / head body, right, because we moved it to the template called layout.html. So let's restart our server and see what we get. Oh, we ran into an error. Let's look at the error. We are not seeing the, oh, one thing is, yeah, this we missed the quote. Oh, looks like we missed everywhere. So you have to be aware of all these, opening and quotes. Let's see layout.html. Let's see. Restart it. We are still getting the error. Now, one thing to troubleshoot error is we go back to myflask.html and then let's add a debug equals true. So what debug.true is going to do is it will spit out debugging errors. Right. As you see, it said restart with stat, debugger is active. There is some debugger pin code. We'll go into debugging at later session. So let's go again and see what's happening. So now here, as we see, it says extend encounter unknown tag extend. And let's see if we scroll down, maybe it will give us an error where it's happening. It says over here profile list.html line 1 in template extend. So yeah, we have a typo here. It should be extends. That's my bad, but it helps us figure out what the error is. Okay, looks like I duplicated it. Extends. So we're gonna correct it everywhere. Last one. Oh, Okay, so let's go again. And as you see here also in the console down there, it's printing the error, which is pretty neat. Another thing about debugging is once you make a change, we don't have to restart it. It will automatically load the change. So let's go back and refresh the browser. Whoa, voila! Now as we see on the top, we have home, a link to add profile, list all profile, and at the bottom we have footer, which is a copyright. So let's click on the add profile. Okay, so we see the top bar doesn't change, the bottom doesn't change, but the form is getting added. So we do list all profiles, same thing. We do edit profile, same thing, right? So this is the beauty of template. I hope you enjoyed my session. If you have any questions or comments, please send me note, alok@f3learning.com. You can also visit our website. And please, if you can subscribe to my channel, that would be awesome. The short URL for my channel is bit.ly.com/f3youtube. Thank you for watching.